This weekend, I caught up with my friend John Sane, who is a world-renowned global speaker on the subject of the future. John speaks to massive audiences, corporate and otherwise, about what's coming and how we can get prepared for the change. I love speaking with him. We have an amazing time when we get together. And obviously, I always ask him, hey, John, what's coming up? What's in the near and distant future? And John said to me, IRL. And I was like, am I supposed to know this term? What is IRL? He said, in real life. What does this mean? And he said something pretty obvious. And I'm sure you've noticed this yourself, that when you look at things online today, you can't be 100% sure if it's true. And I'm sure it's happened to you, but it certainly happened to me when I watch some of these videos, either babies dancing or people doing some sort of movement that feels a little bit too far out there. I don't know if it's possible, or things that just seems pretty unbelievable but amazing. And you wonder, is it true or is it AI? And this is going to be happening more and more and more. So if you watch a video, even a conversation, even famous people, and again, I'm sure you've seen this yourself, famous people doing something that you know they didn't do. So AI and technology has gotten so good already in 2026 that we cannot tell the difference between what's true and what's not. And John said to me that this is only going to get worse or better, whichever way you look at it. What does this mean? Well, it means that things in a way lose their value. If you're looking at something impressive online, well, if it's not true, if it's AI, then it just loses its value. And because you won't be able to know whether something's true or not, the only way for you to really know is to see it with your own two eyes. So what's going to start happening is that we're going to have more things in person, in real life, in front of us, contact with people. And this is good news because, as John put it, the currency of the future is going to be our humanness. What AI also won't be able to do is your unique self, your human perspective, your personal experience, you. AI won't be able to replicate you. And so we're going to start seeing a push into people's authenticity, into people's realness. And we won't really need to copy things as we've been doing all this time, because copying won't be useful anymore. It'll be our authenticity that will be the value. And John said, look, one of the biggest things will be for people to figure out who they are. Not copying anybody else, not trying to be or follow anyone, but just like finding their authentic selves and living from that space. I also asked John what his routine was, and John meditates a minimum of 2 hours a day. Now, if you Google him, he's a massive global speaker. He travels all over the world. He gives speeches to thousands of people at a time, but he never defaults on his personal routine of meditation, of centering, of grounding, of just aligning with who he is. And I think we're going to see more and more of this coming up as the world gets crazier and crazier around us, and it really becomes so confusing. What is going to keep us anchored and centered is just that stillness, that inner peace that we can find through meditation or just being still and just coming back to ourselves. Now, I don't know how quickly all of these changes are going to come about, but the point is that some things are happening already. In fact, yesterday, my friend messaged us on the group that she just lost her job because she works with data, and it's just something that Claude is doing instead of her. And she was asking for a job. And I said to her, well, what is it that you're looking for? And she said, well, this is what I've been doing, but I don't really like it. And she wasn't really clear on what she wanted to do. And I think this is the time for us to get clear on what we actually enjoy doing, what we love to do, things we dream about, fantasize, the things we have fun with when we think about those things. Because it's not anymore about a job. It's about fulfilling our purpose. And that is exciting. And as hard as this change is going to be, and I think it will be rough, I think the next 5 years are going to be rough for a lot of people and the world at large. Eventually, what it's going to push us towards is, why am I here? What is my purpose? What are my gifts? What do I love to do? And let me do that, because that's really the only solution that I have to even feeding myself. Now, as wonderful as AI is, the one thing that it won't be able to do is to tap into your higher self, to tap into that higher consciousness part of you. Now, you can do this yourself, but if you need some help with that, that's exactly what Orykl does. This is exactly why I'm so passionate about this, because I know that if we use the tools available to us through technology, so through what we have now, through what's coming, and we can tap into our higher selves, into that divine part of us, whether we do it on our own or whether we do it with help, then that combination is so powerful. And it's going to create a completely different future. And I hope you step into it boldly with everything that you've got. Thank you. If you're interested in how we're building the spiritual infrastructure of the future, from AI to practitioners to new kinds of communities, then subscribe to the channel and join the conversation. And if you'd like to keep exploring the series, click on one of these videos right here.